Okay, hi everyone. So before we start recognize and use relationship between arcs and chords, you need to understand few concepts. So first concept we have, if you have a circle and if you have two minor chords, so let me say A, B, and now in this case, if arc AB is congruent to arc CD, then chord AB will be congruent to chord CD. So for example, if this and this is congruent, then chord AB is congruent to chord CD, right? So this is concept number one. Before we understand the topic, we need to understand these concepts. Next we have, if you have a circle and if this is the diameter and if this is the chord and if they are perpendicular, then this will be equal to this side, right? If this is 5, this will also be 5. Okay, and vice versa. So if the diameter and the chord are perpendicular, then these two sides will be congruent. Okay, you can just give them name A, B, C, D, P, Q, R, S, whatever you want, but they will be equal. Okay, and one last concept that you need to understand. If you have a circle and you have two minor chords, and let's say here the center. In this case, if these two chords are similar or two chords are congruent, so for example, this chord is congruent to this, then this should be equal to this. Okay, so this is always true. So for example, let me give the name A, B, C, D, O, X, Y. So if AB is congruent to CD, then OX is congruent to OY. So you need to remember this concept before we start questions, because if you don't know these things, then you will have difficult time to understand the questions, right? So let's start with the questions now. Question number 7 we have, you have a circle given with two chords A, B, C, D. Now this angle is 105 degrees and this angle is 5x degree, and this is 7 and this is also 7. So we know that if two chords are congruent or they are similar, 7 equals 7, then what will happen? You have arc AB is also congruent to arc CD, right? So it's very simple now. Now 5x, you can put 105 equal 5x, or you can write 5x equal 105. Now you know how to solve it. Divide by 5 and you will get your answer. So check your answer, and if you're getting right one, obviously you will get right one because it's very simple. 105 divide 5, you will get 21. So x is equal 21 degrees, right? And that's what he has asked. He has asked find the value of x. Now, but if he have asked you what is arc CD, then I don't need to solve it because I know it's 105. So this will also be 105. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Question number 8. So again, you have a circle given here. This chord is given F 70 degrees. And we have another chord given here H, and this is making an angle X degree at center. Okay, making an angle of X degree at center. Yep, that's our question. So now how do we solve this? We need to find X. So it is given in the question that these two chords are congruent. These two chords are congruent. What does it mean? That this arc will congruent to FG. So if these two are congruent, then these two will also be congruent. So let me write here, this angle is x degree. Inscribed angle theorem. If this is x, this will also be x, because it is making on center. If I ask you what will be this angle here, if it makes on circumference, then this angle will be x divided 2. But we don't need this. I'm just giving you giving you this information. So remember this one, right? Okay. So let me remove this because it is of no use for us. Okay, great. So now we know that this is x and this is 70. So if this is x, so what should I write now? FG, arc FG is congruent to arc HJ. 70 degrees is equal. So what's your answer? X is equal 70 degrees, right? That's your answer. I hope you understood this. These are very easy questions. That's question number 9. Okay, now this is again inscribed angle theorem you can use here. So let me write it down for you guys. You have a center here. You have two chords which are congruent, as you can see in the figure. So these two are congruent. This is x degree here. And the name is M, L. This is making 106 degree. Okay, how do I solve this now? Okay, so if this is x degree, what does it mean? That it is making angle x degree on center, right? And these two are congruent. So if this is x, this will also be x, right? Because this is congruent, so these chords are also congruent. Sorry, these arcs are also congruent. Now this is x, this is x. This is 106. Now what will be this angle at center? What do you think? If this is 106, what will be this angle? Or you can solve like in simple way. You don't have to. But let me tell you, if you want to find this angle, this is your center, right? So this angle is on circumference. So 106 divide, so that will be your angle. But I don't need that information here. I just need to find x. So what should I do? Total angle is 360, right? So this angle plus this angle plus this angle will be 360. 106 plus this is x plus x is equal 360 because 106 plus x and plus x will make 360. So now it's easy. 2x is equal 360 minus 106, and now you can solve this. 2x is equal 360 minus 106. 360 minus 106 will 360 minus 106 will give you 254, and divide by 2 will give you 127. X is equal 127 degree. That's your answer. Okay, are we right? Yep, that seems to be the case to me. Okay, because the figure is a bit confusing, because if we check this, can this angle be 127? But if I solve this, this is what we are getting. Right, okay, that's our answer. Next question, question number 10. Okay, here we have this WDY. This is 18, this is also 18, so they are congruent. Center is here. This angle is 143 degree, and this is 2x minus 1, right? Okay, this is very simple. If these two are congruent, then these two are also congruent. So you can simply write 2x minus 1 is equal 143 degree. 2x will be equal 144 degree because you take it to the side, plus 1 of this. And now x is equal 144 divided 144 divided 2 will give you 72 degree. X is equal 72 degree. Right. Okay. Next question. Question number 10 we have done, so now it's 11. to solve from 7 to 14. Okay, 11 is this. Now it is given that two arcs are congruent. So arc MN congruent to arc PP. Now we need to find chord this time. So this is 26 is given. This is 3x plus 5. So what you will do, 3x plus 5 is equal to 26 minus 5. So 3x is equal to 21. X will be equal to, yep, 21 divided 3 will give you 7. Next question, question number 12. Okay, in this one, this is given very simple. Again, same type of question. B, C, A, 85. If I'm going too fast, you guys can slow it down. Also, you can watch it again, right? So 4x plus 3 and this is 5x minus 1. This is the center here. Now, same, right? Again, the arcs are congruent, so what will happen? The chords will also be congruent. So 5x minus 1 is equal. Now you bring it to the side, minus 4x, and you take it to the side, plus 1, opposite side, right? So 5 minus 4 is obviously x, and 3 plus 1 is obviously 4. So x is equal to 4. Now if I ask you to find chord BC, what you will do? 4x plus 3. So you will substitute value here. 4 times 4 plus 3. So this will be 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 3 will be 19. Now how much will be chord BA? This will also be 19 because they are congruent. I don't have to solve it. If you want, you can solve it by yourself and check your answer. Okay, next question. Next we have question number 13. Okay, question number 13 is given that circle C is congruent to circle D. Okay, now you have two circles this time. You have this circle, they both are congruent. So let's check the question first. You have circle C, you have this chord which is KL and arc 5x. Okay, no problem. Again, another circle. This is AJ, chord AJ, and this is circle G, x plus 54. Okay, I'm doing it so fast, guys. So if at any point you feel like I missed something, you can mention those things in Telegram so I can correct that. Okay, but I'm trying like I don't miss anything here. Okay, so what do we do here? Now this is given that these two circles are similar. So if they are similar, they have, if this is congruent, this is also congruent, and this is congruent. So since both circles are similar, so arc AL will be congruent to arc because they are similar with the similarity property. Now 5x is equal to 3x plus 54. Now this is so easy. You guys are brilliant enough to do this. Now this will give you 2x is equal to 54. I'm writing in steps because in your exam you might have to write a step, or else I know you can solve it directly with a calculator. But these steps, make a habit to solve using steps. Okay, so x is equal to 27. 54 divide 2 will give you 27. X is 27. Now one step ahead, let's try again. So if I ask you how much is KL, this will be 5x, so you will put 5 times 27, and 5 times 27 will give you 135, 135, right? Yes. So that will give you 135. Okay, that's your answer. Let's try question number 14, the last question of this PowerPoint, of this video actually. Okay, so now you have circle P is congruent to circle Q. Okay, if two circles are congruent, they have everything congruent. Okay, so this is circle P. The center is P. Chord RS is given as 3x, and the arc is given 155 degrees. So okay, this is different here. Okay, no problem. Let me draw the another circle. Okay, and this is Q. Here this is given as 7x minus 44, right? Okay, and how much is this? This is 205. Now, they are similar, but now you can see that here you have minor arc, right? And this is major arc. In our circle P, this is a minor arc. So chord RS is congruent to chord TU. This is given information. So if these two are congruent, then what will happen? Arc TU is congruent to arc RS. So arc RS is congruent to arc TU. Yes? But now this is 155. So how much will be this? This will also be 155. And why? Because this is 205. 360 minus 255 will give you 155. Okay, that's not the thing that we want, right? But this is the extra information which I gave you. Now what do we want here? We want to find x. Now how we will find x? So that's easy. Rs is 3x, and that will be equal to 7x minus 144. 144. Now you can solve this. Let me just take some space here. I'm just removing this part from here for the. Okay, now this is easy. Or you can just write 7x minus 144 is equal to 3x. Same thing, because I'm just writing LHS is equal RHS. Right hand is equal left hand. So now what I'll do, I'll bring it this side. This is positive 3x, so will become negative 3x. And I'll take it to the other side. This is negative 144 will give you positive 144, right? So remove this. 7 minus 3 will give you obviously 4 is equal to 144. Now you divide by 4 both sides. This will give you how much? X is equal 144 divided by 4 will give you 36, right? And that's your answer. Now if somebody asks you how much will be RS, so RS is equal to 3x. 3 times 36 degree will give you 3 times 36 will give you 108, right? So now how much will be TU? TU will also be 108, right? Okay, so that's your answer. Oh, sorry, that's not degree because that's a line. Correct? Okay, so that is 108. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you understood. If you don't understand anything, just write it down so I can clear it here, right? Good luck.